Are Prince Harry and Meghan Markle set to welcome twins? One betting company seems to think so, announcing some very interesting news. Betway says the Duke and Duchess of Sussex could be preparing for twins, as odds have halved to 5-1 for the royal couple to add 2 baby princesses to their household. Alan Alger, a spokesperson for Betway, revealed, there were a few rumors circling around that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry were expecting twins, and we went 10-1 on it happening at the start of the year. However, we've seen plenty of support on the couple welcoming 2 new members to their family in recent days and have had to cut the price in half to 5-1 as a result. Alice and Victoria are listed as favourites when it comes to names for the new royal bub, followed by James and Albert for a baby boy. It is believed the former actress is due to give birth at the end of April to early May, after she told one well-wisher at an event in January that she was 6 months along. The 37-year-old is showing no signs of slowing down, as the royal couple attended the Endeavour Fund Awards on Thursday night and recently announced plans to visit Morocco from February 23 through the 25th. Camilla Parker Bowles and Prince Charles may be happily married now, but when the pair first struck up a romance in the 70s, old royal customs meant the two could not be married, according to royal historian Robert Lacey. The stiff traditions of the royal family would go on to cause one of the most infamous love triangles in royal history, which ultimately saw the breakdown of Prince Charles and Princess Diana's marriage. In the 2017 Netflix documentary, The Story of Diana, the forbidden relationship between Prince Charles and Camilla is explored in greater depth. Mr. Lacey says, "I actually feel quite sorry for Camilla. Just as Diana was caught by antiquated values, so Camilla was also trapped." Prince Charles and Camilla had been engaged in a passionate romance in the 70s, however, their relationship was forced to end because of one backward royal rule: the heir to the throne could not marry a woman who had been in previous relationships. In contrast to Camilla, the virginal figure of 19-year-old Lady Diana Spencer was seen as the perfect bride for the future King of England, and according to Express.co.uk, the match was encouraged by the royal family. Mr. Lacey continues, "Charles meets Diana, but right from the beginning there's the shadow of Camilla there all the time." The royal historian also analyzed the now famous photograph of Princess Diana walking next to her future husband's mistress at the Ludlow races in 1980. Mr. Lacey says, "It's a very sad photograph. You look at that picture, and you think, what is going through the minds of those two women? Camilla, already Charles' mistress, and the girl beside her who is going to discover. When you see that, I certainly feel pity for Diana, because she's about to get involved in a big game that she didn't know half the details of at that stage." Meghan Markle has been backed by a European royal who has publicly defended her after her father leaked a private letter from the Duchess. Tessie Antony, Princess of Luxembourg, rushed to support Meghan, who is at the centre of a very public role with her father Thomas Markle and half-sister Samantha Grant. She has also become the target of vicious trolls who have used social media to send racist and sexist comments and even claim she is faking her pregnancy. Responding to a post on Twitter in support of the Duchess by Royal Central, the princess urged social media users to stay kind. Princess Tessie said, "No one deserves that. One should never assume. Either you know or be quiet. It's not nice to talk badly about someone else just because one can, as he or she takes advantage of the anonymity of the web. Stay kind. It's the new cool. She does not deserve that." It comes after 5 of Meghan's friends last week spoke out against global bullying in an extraordinary interview with U.S. magazine People. One said, "Meg has silently sat back and endured the lies and untruths. We worry about what this is doing to her and the baby. It's wrong to put anyone under this level of emotional trauma, let alone when they're pregnant." Meghan's unnamed pals revealed that the 37-year-old wrote a letter to her father following the royal wedding, after he claimed to have been ghosted by the Duchess in a string of interviews. And they insisted Meghan was never close to her half-sister and half-brother Thomas Markle Jr., who have repeatedly attacked her since they were not invited to her Windsor wedding. One of Meghan's friends said, "They have been made to appear as siblings who had this falling out, and that's not the truth at all. They were not a part of her life." However, the interview by the Duchess's inner circle prompted Mr. Markle to release Meghan's letter yesterday. Mr. Markle told the Mail on Sunday, "I thought it would be an olive branch. Instead, it was a dagger to the heart." And hours later, Ms. Grant lashed out at her half-sister, branding Meghan a narcissist. It is not known if Meghan's friends gave the bombshell interview at her request. But former Buckingham Palace Press Secretary Dickie Arbiter warned that it has opened a Pandora's box if it was done with Meghan's approval. Mr. Arbiter told the Daily Mail, "Assuming, and as these sources are anonymous, we don't know for sure, that this was done with her agreement, it has opened a Pandora's box. The issue with her father is an open wound and I'm not entirely sure it is the best idea to aggravate that." Meghan Markle's dad has revealed he believes Prince Harry is behind the explosive letter sent by his daughter. Thomas Markle, 74, yesterday released extracts from the 5-page letter that saw the Duchess of Sussex accuse him of creating so much pain and exploiting her relationship with the prince, The Sun reports. Pregnant Meghan, 37, also begged her dad to stop lying and let them live our lives in peace in the handwritten note. The dad, who lives in Mexico, has since revealed he thinks Prince Harry, 34, was involved in writing the letter after some of the terminology used in the letter. He particularly singled out that line that saw Meghan implore, "I realize you are so far down this rabbit hole that you feel, or may feel, there's no way out, but if you take a moment to pause I think you will see that being able to live with a clear conscience is more valuable than any payment in the world." But Thomas said, "Americans don't know what the hell down the rabbit hole means. Apparently it's to do with Alice in Wonderland. You Brits use it. That feels like pure Harry." Royal expert Ingrid Seward agreed, telling the Mirror, "I feel the hand of Harry on this. If you look back at the history of Harry and Meghan, he clearly is very angry. She wouldn't do it without his collaboration." The family drama comes as Meghan Markle prepares to give birth to her first child in just a few months. Friends of Meghan told a U.S. mag she had written to her dad, asking to heal the rift which opened before her wedding last May. But instead of staying silent, Thomas Markle released part of the letter to the press and put the blame back on his pregnant daughter. Sarah Ferguson has weighed into the so-called feud between Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, and Catherine, the Duchess of Cambridge, saying it's akin to how she and the late Princess Diana were viewed as rivals. Speaking in an open letter published in Hello! Magazine, Fergie wrote that, despite saturated news reports at the time, she and Diana never felt any rivalry towards each other. Women, in particular, are constantly pitted against and compared with each other in a way that reminds me of how people tried to portray Diana and me all the time as rivals, which is something neither of us ever really felt, she wrote in the letter published in Hello! Magazine. The British magazine launched the Hello to Kindness campaign largely in response to a rise in abusive online comments directed at Meghan and Kate. The Duchess of York wrote that the majority of Twitter and Instagram terrifies her and that social media is a sewer. Take a look at any website, and you'll see extraordinarily abusive comments aimed not only at people in the public eye but also other internet users. Bullying, sniping, being, even the most appalling sexism, racism and homophobia are commonplace, she said. It was recently revealed that Kensington Palace staff spent hours moderating hundreds of thousands of sexist and racist online comments aimed at the young royals. For her part, Fergie wrote that it seems online, anything goes. People feel licensed to say things online that they would never dream of saying to someone's face, and that encourages others to pile in. It's so ubiquitous that we've all become numb to what's going on. There is good evidence that this online culture is having a detrimental impact on people's mental health, particularly vulnerable young people. Neither Kate or Meghan have social media accounts. The Duchess of Sussex deleted her online accounts when she became engaged to Prince Harry, but Kensington Palace's social media platforms keep fans in touch with news on the younger generation of royals. Its Instagram page has over 7 million followers, while its Twitter account has nearly 1.6 million. But Fergie, who was previously married to Prince Andrew, said the online harassment of women has to stop. "I believe that it's time to take a stand. This isn't about freedom of speech. The truth is, it's not acceptable to post abuse or threats on social media or news sites, and it's not acceptable to harangue other users simply because they disagree with you," she wrote. "It's not acceptable to pit women against one another all the time."
Wow.